Okay, so the first part of the video for today, we're going to talk about the answers to the homework. And again, because you're watching the video, it's kind of hard to do a give and take here. So I'll just scroll through the answers. I'll give you my standard beginning that it is quite possible for me to make a careless mistake. I tend to do them pretty well. A couple of points of emphasis here. I do want you to note that this -5 should go in parentheses if you're using a calculator. That's the only way the calculator knows to square the whole -5. If you don't put it into the calculator in parentheses, it interprets it as, or it should interpret it as, square the 5, then negate it, which would give you a -25. So make sure it's in parentheses. Okay, there's your answers right there in front of you for numbers 1 through 8. Again, you can pause the video at this point and look through all the answers. And there's numbers 9 through 12. I'd like to call your attention to number 10. Is 10 an answer to number 10? We had a little bit of an issue with this on the quiz the other day. The answer on the quiz was 23. I don't remember the question, but I know it worked out to something like n is greater than 21. And some students put down 21 as the answer. 21 is not an answer. The only answers are greater than 21. So 23 would have been a correct answer on the quiz. Likewise, for number 10, to give you a similar idea, if I said, is 10 an answer to number 10? The answer is no, it is not, because it says n is greater than 10, and 10 is not greater than 10. Now, if I said, is 15 an answer? Yes, it is, because 15 is greater than 10. Likewise, in number 12, is 1 an answer? No. 0 is an answer. -3 is an answer. 1 is not, because 1 is not less than 1. 2 is not. 1.5 is not, and so on. And 4 literal equations. The one here that's a little different is number 15, where you have to do the square root of b squared, because the square root of a power, or the inverse of a power is a root. So the square root of there. If you happen to remember the distance formula from high school, d equals the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. It is nothing more than a specific application of the Pythagorean theorem, and that's why it almost looks like this, substituting the x sub 2 minus x sub 1 for c and the y's for b, or a, and so on. Okay, all right, so it's a very similar thing. It's not exactly the same with the distance formula, but similar. Okay, so there's the answers to our homework. Now, the next thing that we do is the pregame stretch. And here are our pregame stretch. Now, questions, and you can click on the Moodle for lesson 5 and get them in front of you that way, or you can look at them here. And all I'm going to do is show you these questions, pause, scroll through, pause, give you time to get all of these questions done, and then I'll go through the answers. Okay, it's not continued on the next page. That's the end of it. But anyway, if you need to go back and scroll back, do that. But those are all the questions for the pregame stretch. And here are your correct answers. I believe they're correct. But again, I do tend to make some careless mistakes. Again, pause the screen, look at the answers, then scroll it up. I'm not going to take all of that time. You can just pause the video for that. Likewise, if you notice on number 11, it says, is 12 a solution? No, it is not, because 12 is not less than 12. Okay, so that would be the end of video 1 for lesson 5.